Are you age 62 and dreaming of retirement? Action steps next on Retiring Today. This is Retiring Today. I'm Molly Nelson here with Chawn, Honkomp, and Loren Merkle. They're both certified financial planners and certified financial fiduciaries. Chawn is also a CPA. If you are age 62 and dreaming of retirement, we've got a great show for you today because it's packed with action steps that you can take to put yourself in a better position to retire. Chawn and Loren, you both sit down every day with individuals and families who are age 62. Chawn, what's their mindset at this stage of life?
At the age of 62, a lot of people out there have worked now for 40 or more years. And after putting in that much time in the workforce, we know you're thinking about retirement. And it could be right in front of you, maybe within the next year, but certainly within the next few years. But at the age of 62, a lot of people empty nesters. The kids are out of the house. Maybe they're through college into their own careers. Maybe there's grandkids out there now. So you're dreaming about what that can look like and maybe being able to spend time with their grandkids. So people at 62, we know they're thinking about what that next stage of life is going to look like and what the next few years are going to be for them.
And Loren, it's close, but it can also feel really far away because sometimes people have some big concerns as they get closer to retirement.
Especially when we're talking about something that they have never done before. People have never retired, and whenever you go through something for the very first time, especially something of this magnitude, when you're talking about you have to financially support yourself without working for maybe the next 20 to 30 years with all of these other things that could, there's just a lot of moving pieces that are very unfamiliar. And people start thinking about the intricate details that are required to successfully retire. Things like how do you get your paycheck? Does the money come every month? Does it come once a year? Can it come a couple times a month? How does it work with Social Security? Do they have enough? All of these concerns really get magnified because it is a year, maybe 2 years away, and it's an endeavor they've never undertaken before.
Chawn, they have to think about a lot of things in a new way, and the plan that got them to age 62 isn't necessarily the same plan that will get them to and through retirement.
Yeah, I love that comment. It's the decisions that have been made up to this stage of life. Those aren't the same decisions that are going to get you through that next stage of life. A lot of people out there have worked with an advisor at some point in their life. And when we're younger, that advisor tends to be more of an investment-focused advisor. But as you get to age 62 and as you approach those upcoming years in this retirement journey, needs to feel different. There's, like Loren, like you said, there's so much more. There's new things in front of us. That same investment advisor may or may not be positioned to help you through that next stage of life. I just had a visit here in the last week or two where the husband's working with an advisor. The wife hasn't retired yet, so she doesn't have any of her money outside of the 401k plan. And they were meeting with us just recently, and they made the comment of they feel like they have to bring these ideas up to their advisor, which told me their experience is around those investments. That investment advisor may or may not be a retirement planner, and you should not be looking for that relationship where you have to bring up those ideas because your life is changing, but that investment advisor continues to do the same thing. So at this stage of life, it might be the right time to find out what else can be out there for you.
We do hear that quite a bit because most advisors are investment advisors, not retirement planners. So when you go in for your review, the advisor has it all laid out as far as what he or she wants to talk about around your investments. But if you want to learn about where you're going to get your income from, how much income can you receive, what kind of tax mitigation strategies can you put into play, where is this money going to go once you pass away, all of those other planning elements, you actually have to bring up to the advisor. That's the experience that we've heard, and that's not a pleasant experience because of all of the concerns. And now this mindset, like you said, Molly, what got you to 62 isn't going to get you to 102 and get you to 102 successfully. So there's a lot more that goes into it, but that information is not readily available, unfortunately, amongst most advisory groups.
And that puts a lot of pressure on me. I'm just pretending I'm sitting in those visits. I might not even know what ideas to bring up. I've never retired before. I read some stuff on some websites and I might feel like I'm educating myself, but I might not even know what to ask about. So I know with the families and individuals that our retirement planners work with, you're bringing up ideas. And one of those ideas that you often talk about, Loren, is Roth conversions.
Because Roth conversions can be so powerful and is probably one of the most overlooked tax planning strategies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the board and we're going to go through an example with our hypothetical hypothetical pre-retiree named Jill. Jill is in the same spot that you are. She's 2 years out from retiring, and she's starting to feel a lot of pressure about making the right decisions for her to make sure that she can have the lifestyle that she wants to over the next 20 years of her retirement, and she's making the best decisions with the money that she's saved. So here's a little bit more about Jill. Jill has done a really good job of saving for retirement. She has accumulated $1 million of pre-tax savings. So this money that Jill has accumulated has never been taxed before, which means when she takes it out, she will pay taxes on the money. Now, there's a lot of tax planning strategies that Jill can incorporate as she's looking to retire in 2 years. But to make this simple, we're going to just talk about the Roth conversion strategy. So the question for Jill is, does she convert? Or does she not convert? Now, a little bit more about Jill. She is currently working again for 2 years. She makes $100,000 a year, so a great income, and that puts her in the 22% federal tax bracket. So example number one, where Jill does not convert. But first, just a reminder about what a Roth conversion is. Again, she has $1 million of pre-tax money. She's going to take a piece of that money, move it over to the Roth. When she does that, in that year, she will pay taxes on that conversion. But once the money gets to the Roth IRA, it will grow tax-free forever. When she takes it out, she will receive that income tax-free. That's if she does a Roth conversion. So in the first example, she does not convert. She just continues through the next 2 years working. She retires. She takes income from her portfolio, lives a great retirement, has a good lifestyle over the next 20 years of her projected retirement. Over that 20-year projected retirement, as she's taking the income from her IRA, she will pay a retirement tax bill of about $430,000. Now that's a huge bill. Again, $1 million portfolio over a 20-year time frame, $430,000 tax bill she's sending to the IRS as she takes those distributions to live her lifestyle. No Roth conversions. But wait, what if Jill's a little bit more proactive? She has an intentional custom tax plan and she engages in Roth conversions. Now, for this strategy with Jill, she's going to convert for just 7 years. And one of the key points here is she is not going to wait until she retires. She is going to start converting at the age of 62, convert for those 2 years while she's working, fill up the 22% tax bracket with her conversions, and then when she retires at the age of 64, an additional 5 years of conversions. So this is a 7-year Roth conversion strategy for Jill. And when she employs this strategy, same 20-year projected retirement, she will not amass a $430,000 retirement tax bill. In fact, her retirement tax bill will only be about $320,000. What a big difference for Jill. When there's so much pressure about making sure your money lasts over the course of your lifetime, Jill can use that extra $110,000 for a whole litany of different ideas that she has to make her retirement much better. She can spend it on her grandkids, she can give it to her kids, she can increase her lifestyle, take even more trips to Europe than what she originally planned. A whole bunch of things that Jill can do that she wouldn't have been able to do if she just went on her way and lived retirement without a custom retirement tax plan.
Yeah, $110,000 difference. That's a lot of money to spend on the things you want in retirement. My takeaway from that, guys, was don't wait. Don't wait till you're 65 to start working on retirement. Don't wait until your investment advisor brings this up, because if you've retired and they haven't brought it up, it could be too late to employ this kind of a strategy.
Yeah, you got to start thinking about it now, and that's where we need this comprehensive plan. It's not just an investment plan. A retirement plan is much bigger. It takes a lot of that information. We've got to know what your current income is. We've got to know kind of what the retirement goals are so that we can develop that long-term tax plan for you that gives us a good sense of what that retirement journey looks like so that we can make the best decisions possible this year. Let's do that analysis. Let's identify that specific amount to convert in the current year, and then we're able to do that same analysis and look at it again in future years. You can see the power of $110,000 of less money to the IRS. that means that's $110,000 more in your pocket or possibly as part of your legacy plan to your kids and grandkids.
And that strategy, it doesn't mean that everybody should start converting right away, right? It's unique to everybody. But what planning does is it turns the unknown into known, which turns anxiety into less anxiety, especially around these types of decisions. That's what that's what Jill's looking for. She wants to know what her strategies should be. Convert, not convert, other strategies, and then she can walk into retirement feeling really good, really confident about all the plans she has in place because she actually has a plan in place.
More action steps if you're age 62 and dreaming of retirement. Plus, we answer a question we received recently during our Journey to Retirement workshop. Next.
You dream of a happy retirement, but there are some big questions to answer first. Do I have enough saved? When should I take Social Security? How will I pay for health care and keep up with inflation? Go to merkleretire.com to schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call to talk directly with a retirement planner and get answers to your important retirement questions. The first step to your retirement starts with a 15-minute retirement checkup call.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
The Merkle Retirement Planning Team provides personable and professional expertise unrivaled in this area. They include us in every step of the planning process. The peace of mind provided to us by the Merkle team allows us to fully enjoy this special time of our lives. Instead of feeling snakebit, we feel confident that with the Merkle Retirement Planning Team at our sides, we can navigate any challenge that comes our way.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. I'm Molly Nelson here with Chawn Honkomp and Loren Merkle. This is a section we call Your Journey, Your Questions. We answer a question that we have received recently during our Journey to Retirement workshop. Here's one we got about Social Security. The question is, how does the Social Security planning change when your spouse is 8 years younger? My spouse does not work. Does that affect the decision that I should make? Loren, what would you say?
Well, the quick answer to that question is yes, it certainly could impact that decision. Not only the fact that your spouse doesn't work, but also that age difference. But just because your spouse isn't working right now, it doesn't mean your spouse didn't ever work. And the way Social Security works is you can become fully eligible or fully insured is what they call it for Social Security. And in order to be fully insured, you have to earn 40 credit hours over the course of your working career. So in this case, let's assume that at some point the spouse worked, but is not working right now. Based on 2024 numbers, 1 credit hour, you earn $1,730 in a year, you get 1 credit hour. So if you earn $6,920 over the course of the year, that's 4 credit hours. That's the maximum credits you can earn in 1 year. Again, it takes 40 to be fully insured. So if the spouse worked for 10 years and earned enough to be fully insured, that means that the spouse's Social Security benefit could be more than if the spouse never worked, which in that case, it might make sense to use what we call a combination strategy where you have the bigger benefit, you delay your benefit because yours is going to be the survivorship benefit, and your spouse take their benefit right away at first eligibility of 62. Get as much out of that benefit as you possibly can, because as soon as your spouse passes away, or actually as soon as one of you passes away, the spouse's benefit is going to be gone because the higher benefit will remain. So that's a combination strategy. Let's get as much out of that lower benefit as we possibly can. However, if the spouse never worked, then that spouse will not be eligible for a Social Security benefit until the main claimant files, and then there's a spousal benefit eligibility. So it wouldn't make any sense for the spouse to claim the benefit until the main earner claims their benefit, and then there's some eligibility. So I hope that's really clear. There's a lot going on there, and that's not where it stops. And this is why we say if you are a married couple, you have up to 81 different options when it comes time to elect your Social Security benefit. We just covered 2 out of all of those different options. This is why we have to have an intentional Social Security plan that accounts for your specific situation, because as we know, everybody's situation is different, which would lead to different decisions.
That really actually was a very good explanation. And whether you followed it, to a T or not, I think the takeaway, Chawn, is that Social Security can be more complex, I think, sometimes than people realize.
There's a lot of moving pieces to it. And just in a visit this week, the first time we met with a couple, the husband asked me, he said, well, was there pretty much a standard guidance that you provide with Social Security? And I think my instant reaction was just to smile and chuckle a little bit, because there's clearly not. As we build retirement plans, we never want to follow the rules of thumb or these averages. And we just had that conversation around, no, there is no standard. I mean, we know it's anywhere between 62 and 70. It depends if you're single or married. It depends on your working history, how much you earn during that time frame. We got to look at your health factors as we go to make that decision. We got to look at the conditions of the markets at the time you have an opportunity to make a Social Security decision. But at the end of the day, you want to maximize Social Security. You want to get out as much as you can, but that's where we need that plan, because getting as much as you can doesn't mean start it at 62. Because if we're going to live a long time, we know there's a benefit to waiting later and letting that benefit increase. So we need to have that plan to make sure at the end of the day, when you go to make your Social Security decision, you're going to feel really good and confident about the decision you make.
We mentioned that this question came in during our online Journey to Retirement workshop. So there's a couple in that workshop, and they have to make this Social Security decision. And you guys, the retirement planners in the workshop, you often take that Social Security and you show 3 different options for John and Sue. And it's pretty eye-opening, because there's a big difference between option 1 and option 3.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. In fact, to the tune of $93,000 difference between option 1 and option 3. Now, John and Sue in this online Journey to Retirement workshop, they're going to choose the option that provides the optimal Social Security and retirement planning benefit to them. And so in this workshop, we show you what that is, but more importantly, we show you how they arrive at that decision. Because your decision might be different than John and Sue, but you can use the methodology and the planning knowledge to help you identify what is going to be the best for you.
So there's obviously Social Security is part of the Journey to Retirement workshop. And I should mention, there is a number on your screen right now. At any time throughout today's show, you can text the word Journey to the number on your screen, and we'll send you some more information about the online Journey to Retirement workshop. It's complimentary, and you can see not only John and Sue make the Social Security decision, but Chawn, you get to see them make a lot of decisions. You get a ton of information during this workshop.
Yeah, one of the questions we get probably the most is that you don't know what you don't know. This is a new stage of life, and oftentimes it's that hesitancy to get started. And something like attending the Journey to Retirement workshop, that is going to be step 1 for you. That can get you started. And really the goal is to provide people as much information as possible. Once we ultimately get to working together and building that plan, the plan doesn't have these secrets. It doesn't know everything, but the plan is meant to provide all of us together the most information we can, so that as we're facing these new decisions, we want to feel confident that you're making the smartest, most informed decisions we can. And then life's going to happen. And as life happens, now we just got to react to that. So that Journey to Retirement workshop is going to help everybody get closer and closer to having their retirement plan. And
the biggest takeaway is, if you are age 62, you watch the online Journey to Retirement workshop, you will see exactly the kinds of decisions that are coming. Maybe the things that your current advisor hasn't brought up yet, they are in this workshop, and you will understand some of the action steps that lie ahead as you go on your journey to retirement. We will continue talking about some of those action steps next.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
Anytime I have even the smallest question about my accounts or what effect the latest tax law might have on my situation, the Merkle Retirement Planning Team is always there and quick to help. I'm so glad they treat you like family. I'm so happy to have such an excellent team working for my future and ensuring I do the best to achieve my financial goals.
Merkle Retirement Planning. Your retirement starts here.
Do you wonder if you have enough saved for retirement? Will your money last as long as you do? Will taxes, healthcare costs, and inflation derail your retirement? Get answers. Schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call today. We can cover a lot in 15 minutes, including strategies you can implement now to start your retirement journey. Schedule a call at merkleretire.com. The first step to a confident retirement starts with a simple phone call.
Welcome back to Retiring Today. I'm Molly Nelson here with Chawn Honkomp and Loren Merkle, and we promised you action steps if you're age 62. Chawn, advice you would give is to get a Social Security analysis.
Yeah, at the age of 62, that's the first time under most normal circumstances that you have the opportunity to make that decision. And it can feel great. Who doesn't want more guaranteed income? And who doesn't want the most out of Social Security possible because you paid into it for your entire lifetime? So now's the time to develop that plan, and even hope ideally a little bit before 62 to know, because a lot of people want to get it day one as soon as they can. So get that plan and identify, is 62 the right age for you? It may or may not be. Understand that it's going to be somewhere between 62 and 70. So have that plan built so that we have a sense of what that's going to look like for you.
Yeah, and you can really lay it out in numbers for people, and that's what you do when you not only help them analyze, you show them what they'll receive, depending on what choice they make. You also actually help them elect Social Security.
Yeah, that's one of the value adds that we bring to the table for our families is not only will we identify, here's the appropriate strategy for you to elect, but then we don't say, go call Social Security or go to SSA.gov. We'll actually file those benefits for you. We have done that hundreds of times, so it's very simple for us to do it. You try to file it for the first time, it could go smoothly, or there could be a lot of hiccups. Let's just take the hiccups out of it, make it an easy process. We take care of that for them.
Action step number 2, I'm going to call this one, take a closer look at your 401k. Age 62, such an important time to really understand where you're going, make sure that what you're doing in your 401k lines up with your retirement goals.
Yeah, be aware of what contribution amounts you're putting in these last maybe few years of working. If you're able to, let's get as much in there as you can. Those limits go up every year, so now that you're well over age 50, you can try to maximize out those contributions if you're able to. Maybe you're empty nesters, that cash flow can be better, so a lot of people can start to put more money in there. It's also important to understand how much risk you're taking. That's a big part of our process. As we're meeting families and individuals for the first time, and we go through and show you, here's what your portfolio looks like right now. When we're younger, it's a different process and approach. It's generally, are you being aggressive or conservative? That's not what you should be looking for at this stage of life. We want to quantify that for you. We're going to show you exactly what level of risk you're taking, but then one step further, show you what that means to you in the markets. Meaning, like Jill's $1 million portfolio, based on how she's investing today, could her $1 million portfolio go down to $900,000, or could it go down to a $600,000 amount? It means that much more now at the age of 62 because we're all closer to retirement, and you're that much closer to one day taking money out of that. And we don't want to be in a very bad or down market at the time that you're going to start those distributions. So make sure you fully understand how much risk you're taking.
And be really intentional with that 401k plan risk. One of the strategies we put together for a lot of our families contributing to a 401k plan, they have most of their retirement money underneath their 401k plan, right? It's already been contributed. Now might be a good time to take some risk off the table with that piece of your 401k plan, but also let's take advantage of this market volatility, the steep ups and downs. So what you would do is you would have a little bit more risk with your new contribution. So every pay period you have money going into your 401k plan, maybe step on the gas a little bit with those contributions. It's a small piece of your overall retirement savings, and you're putting money in when the market's down, when the market's up, and over the course of the next couple of years while you're working and contributing, that can really improve the balance of your 401k plan by using this market volatility to your advantage.
And I think it's important to note that these are the ideas that you're bringing to people. Again, they don't need to be bringing them to you because you're already saying, hey, let's look at this and how it works with your retirement vision. Another idea is it Roth conversion time? Age 62, you showed us how powerful it is for Jill. 62 is a good time to at least start thinking about what that could mean.
Yeah, we've got to develop that plan. We've got to be aware of it. It's all about getting the information so that you can say yes or no to any given strategy that your plan might have in front of you. Not every opportunity is a yes for everybody out there. You've got to have your customized plan, get the information you need so you know what your picture looks like, and that you can say, yes, that's the right strategy for me, or no, not at this time, but let's look at it again next year.
And we didn't get to today Medicare. We didn't even talk about Medicare. That's on the minds of those who are 62, healthcare, how to pay those out-of-pocket costs. We didn't talk a lot about legacy. We didn't really get into how to develop a retirement income plan. There's so much more that goes into it. And that's why I think if you're 62, the Journey to Retirement Workshop is perfect for you.
It's a can't miss because it does talk about all of those different pillars of a retirement plan. In the Journey to Retirement Workshop with the legacy piece, we give a strategy that we have called IRA relocation strategy. We get a lot of comments and questions on that particular strategy because like a lot of these strategies, it's one that most people have never heard of before, but is simple to implement, simple to understand. And with Medicare, with the extreme healthcare cost, you need to know as much as you can about how to cover yourself from a healthcare standpoint. There's not a better way to go to get all of that information in a very simple, concise way as the Journey to Retirement Workshop.
Yeah, we take comments and questions live during the Journey to Retirement Workshop. And I think the comment you're referring to recently said something like, that was eye-opening. Never heard of it before. How powerful. So it is powerful. The Journey to Retirement Workshop is powerful. And we try to make it easy for you. It's a complimentary workshop. And what you can do is text Journey to the number on your screen. Once you text Journey, then we'll reach back out to you and we'll work on getting you signed up for the next Journey to Retirement Workshop that we hold. Then you'll see Chawn, you'll see Loren, you'll see our retirement planners walk through the Journey to Retirement through the eyes of John and Sue. They make a lot of decisions. And when you watch the Journey to Retirement Workshop, Loren, Chawn, they'll have action steps. You guys agree that they will take away things that they can do right now?
There's going to be simple strategies that you can implement to improve your retirement plan day one. And they're going to be easy to understand. So things that can really make a big difference. You can ask questions. We get to as many questions as we can. If we can't, maybe your question will end up on the show.
This is Retiring Today, and we thank you for watching.
Do I have enough saved for retirement? When should I take Social Security? Which Medicare option is best? How do I plan for inflation? Sometimes the road to retirement starts with more questions than answers. We're here to help. Join us for our upcoming Journey to Retirement Workshop. Get answers and start your retirement journey with confidence. Our online workshop includes information on Secure Act 2.0 and changing retirement rules. Visit retirewithmerkle.com to register for an upcoming workshop. Your retirement journey starts now.
You dream of a happy retirement, but there are some big questions to answer first. Do I have enough saved? When should I take Social Security? How will I pay for health care and keep up with inflation? Go to merkleretire.com to schedule a 15-minute retirement checkup call to talk directly with a retirement planner and get answers to your important retirement questions. The first step to your retirement starts with a 15-minute retirement checkup call.